everyone, welcome back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get right into the 2020 love outlook for the sign of Capricorn. And this is going to round out the 2020 love outlook readings for the earth signs. But before we get into that, just wanted to remind you all that this Christmas I am giving away the Colette Baron Reed Spirit Animal Oracle deck. This is the deck that I will be using in this reading right here. And all you have to do to be in the running for that is to be a subscriber and to leave me a comment in any of my videos letting me know that you're interested in the deck. Okay, I just want to make sure that whoever I'm sending it to is someone who's actually going to work with it and enjoy it. And it doesn't matter where in the world you are, as long as you receive mail, you can be in the drawing. All right, guys, so Capricorn, let's get right into your romance angel messages. You're the last of the earth signs that are getting their 2020 outlook, and this is going to be an outlook for a Capricorn who is with a significant other, who has a relationship with a twin flame or soulmate that is a romantic relationship, a love relationship. You may or may not be with them. The state of your relationship is what we're going to look at, right? But this is not for a single Capricorn, and so I will be doing a single series, but I want to get the relationship ones out of the way and uploaded first because they're the ones that are calling to me, right? So this is it, Capricorn. Let's see what you and your significant other, your love, soulmate, or twin flame may be looking at for a relationship this year or love issues this year. Gonna pull out two romance angel messages. One is retreat. So retreating from the world, oftentimes it means retreating together, of course, and children. Your love life is being affected by children. All right, guys, so this could mean a lot of things, but we won't really know until we get into your spread. So let's go ahead and pull out your romance angel messages. Now, these are the messages for you and your lover, in the sense that, animal spirits, I said romance angels, I meant to say animal spirits. Animal spirits can come into our lives as energies that are becoming available to us. They can indicate times in our lives where we are entering into sort of new stages or paths. Here I want to say that these two animal spirits may be resonating with sort of the characteristics and personalities of you and your mate, or it could just be what you and your mate are going to be going through this year. So just take what applies to you and disregard the rest. This is a really lovely animal spirit deck. It's an oracle deck, and so it's 68 card deck. It's really nice. It's one of those decks that you can work with for a long time. So let's just figure out for our beautiful Capricorn what animal spirit their love lives will be dealing with this year. We have the badger. Be fearless and bold. Wow. Well, with retreat and children, being fearless and bold is necessary. Look how beautiful that card is. And then we have ant spirit. Time to collaborate and work together. Wow. Now this is ant, not fire ant. And so fire ant in a lot of decks is associated with anger, but this is very different. So let's take a look here. We have retreat and children, but then we have badger spirit and ant spirit. Well, the badger is really, really a beautiful animal spirit. Of course, an earth animal, and so is the ant. So we're dealing with being very practical. The badger, of course, is fearless and bold, right? He doesn't mind that he's a different sort of creature. He's very resourceful. And he's tenacious, right? The badger, you know, we associate the badger with this will to carry on. They keep trying and trying and trying. Very intelligent creatures, very, very resourceful. Now, the ant spirit is all about working together, right? To collaborate, to work in unison. And I think that this is going to be a nice little reading for you, Capricorn, in the sense that you both certainly are resonating with complementary animal spirits. Your situation is you know, the dynamics in your love life this year seem to indicate that you have a lot to get done, right? You have a lot to get done, and if children are coming into your life, then that certainly makes sense. Yes, of course you have to be fearless and bold. Some of you may be welcoming children in. Your families may be getting bigger, right? You may be building on your families. Whatever the case may be, let's go ahead and get into your spread. But it is a lovely spirit of cooperation and really working together towards something important for you and your lover. And certainly with the romance angel messages, it can seem to indicate a desire to grow the family. Certainly a need to take on more, perhaps not need or the possibility of taking on responsibility, the requirement, the duty, the feeling, the feeling of duty could be that you're taking on responsibilities of somebody else's children in your relationship. But let's see what your cards say. We're going to pull out 6 cards. 3 for you, 3 for your partner, and they're going to represent how you see yourselves and how you see each other and how you see the relationship. The cards are jumpy tonight. Do check out your other readings. They are all linked at the top of the description. And do follow me on Instagram. I'm going to put that link up as well. Let's see what's going on for a lovely Capricorn and their partner this year. 2020, the love outlook. Show me. You have the Death card, and your partner has 8 of Swords. Okay. How you see your partner is Tower, and how they see you is the Moon. This just came up for your sister Virgo as well. And how you see the relationship and how they see the relationship. Wow. You have 3 cards matching Virgo's reading, which is very interesting. Bottom of the deck, we have 5 of Swords. So let's just see what's going on. Wow. All right, let's get right into it. 5 of Swords talks about a defeat, right? The 5 of Swords can indicate a power struggle that you have with somebody where you just concede defeat because you can't be bothered lowering yourself to their level and continuing to battle with them on their terms. This is someone you're battling with who's not really very honest. They're resorting to all kinds of underhanded tactics, and rather than constantly be in the muck with them, you just decide to give it up and say, look, you win. You know, you take the high road. And this could be why Badger Spirit is coming up. In the sense of being fearless and bold enough to take the high road when you know you're constantly dealing with someone who's just going to engage on a really messed up level, a toxic level. Could be why you might be needing to retreat. Death and 8 of Swords. So Death comes in. This is how you see yourself, and this is how your partner sees themselves. You are resonating with Death energy. So let's start with you. Of course, this Death card is associated with Scorpio in the Tarot deck, but you're going you're going through full transformation, Capricorn. Changes on every level. Physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. The Death card brings with it total transformation, and it's really unstoppable. It usually speaks to a transformation that has been in the making for quite some time, but now it's actually happening, right? Changes. You may be moving, right? Everything is changing. Jobs are changing. Emotions are changing. Everything is changing. And very much it's a changing for something new and better because it's a death that's coming in. And so the old is firmly behind you. And this is how you're feeling this year, Capricorn. Like a new stage of your life is coming in. But your partner is resonating with 8 of Swords. And your partner is feeling very, very sort of alienated, right? Obstructed. They're feeling sort of crippled in a way. They're feeling emotionally crippled. 8 of Swords is when somebody is absolutely sort of, they feel like there's no choices that they can make anymore. They feel like the world is making their choices for them. You know, 8 of Swords is someone who feels as though they're being boxed into a corner. But oftentimes, this individual is being boxed into a corner, or they're suffering the consequences of their own behavior. Because the 8 of Swords individual is somebody whose behavior is very toxic, or they're thinking, the way they think and communicate is really just toxic. They're hard to talk to. They don't, entertain anybody else's opinions. Their opinions are very old and restricted and sort of dusty, basically, and it's just like it's their own behavior that causes them to be in this situation. And then when they're in this situation, they're very much sort of like, the victim. They play the victim. And so some of you are very much dealing with somebody like that this year who feels as though the world is really, against them and there's nothing they can do. Now, this energy is generally quite toxic in a sense that your person may indeed be feeling like this, and they may have legitimate pressures that they've been dealing with, right? But oftentimes this can happen with somebody who's going through a lot of pressure, a lot of stress on their own, maybe issues with children or divorce, custody, being a single parent, jobs. All of these things, they can begin as legitimate sort of intrusions from the outside world, and they can begin like legit, things that you legitimately have to battle against, right? But once you get to an Eight of Swords stage, you've allowed yourself to become a victim, and this is why this is a very toxic energy, because once somebody resonates with this energy, they've stopped taking responsibility for their own actions, and they've stopped taking responsibility for the consequences of their actions, and for the fact that ultimately they're the ones in control of their lives, right? And so this is when it begins to really turn quite toxic. And you're dealing with this year, with this individual, and being fearless and bold can certainly indicate that you're the one who's really going to have to do a lot of dealing with this. Perhaps you're already in a spirit of giving up all of the arguing, and it may be retreating with children. You may retreat from this person with children. You may have children with this person. And being fearless and bold can certainly indicate that you are taking the children away. And this is the big change, because you can't deal... Once somebody is resonating with this kind of toxic energy, it can be very, very difficult to deal with them, because at this point they've already given up their own sense of responsibility. And nobody can force somebody to have a sense of responsibility. It's something that they have to learn or want for themselves. How do you see each other? Well, you see them as a tower moment, and they see you as a moon. I'm more and more thinking that this is definitely a situation of a Capricorn out there who's retreating from this relationship. This relationship is very volatile, very toxic. I'm feeling more and more that this is for a Capricorn who has children in this relationship, and they've felt that they've had enough. It's time to leave. Why I say this, Capricorns, because you see your person as a tower moment, and everything in your life has changed because of them. This is, you see them as a tower moment in your life, almost as this destructive force that has come into your life and made you sort of doubt everything you believed in. And so in this way, when somebody else represents your tower moment, and they are resonating with this kind of toxic energy, this is definitely somebody you associate with having ruined your life to a certain degree. Really, having made you... This is somebody that when they're resonating with toxic energy and they have come in like a tower moment, oftentimes the tower moment is when divine intervention comes in to get you to learn something and to make your tower bigger. Sometimes when people represent a tower moment, it can be because they have made you doubt yourself, and you destroyed your tower. The tower represents our beliefs and our ideals and what we believe in life and about ourselves. Ideally, when that's ripped down by divine intervention, it gets bigger and more expansive and broader, and it encompasses more because we learn more, right? We become bigger in our learning and wisdom. But when somebody else has kind of caused this, oftentimes it can also just be that somebody has caused you to sort of crumble your own faith in yourself, not believe yourself, doubt yourself. And so a good tower that was there crumbled as a result of somebody else's actions in your life. And now you have to kind of rebuild what was there before, because that was already a strong, good tower. But, it succumbed to the toxic energy of somebody else. They see you as moon energy in the sense that they don't trust you. They know something is going on. I think that they probably feel this year that things aren't quite the way they used to be. If you're dealing with somebody who's just very, very difficult, very, very toxic, emotionally difficult, they're going to feel you probably pulling away. If this year you're beginning to not entertain a lot of this behavior, they're going to notice a difference. Something about you they're noticing. They realize they don't see the whole picture with this moon energy, and it's definitely scaring them. Excuse me. It's definitely scaring them because moon is also a very frightening period of time in our lives when we're being tested. The moon is a testing period. And so this person has their own karmic path to follow, and for them it may indeed be a testing period, but in relation to you, they're feeling very anxious, they're very unsure, they don't know what's really going on in this union, and they know that things aren't quite right because when death comes in, you can't hide the changes. It could very well be that things have happened in your life this year, Capricorn, that have not only allowed you to be able to move on or to be able to sort of realize what you want to do next, but these changes coming in may have resonated up your finance, allowing you to get out of this situation easier. It may have brought information or events into your life that allowed you to see things going on in this dynamic that's given you even more sort of motivation to deal with it. Because certainly if you're having a tower moment, if you're seeing your person as a tower moment, then you are dealing with this because you're awake. A tower moment, you can't ignore it. So you know and feel that this person has been causing this for you. Now, how do you see yourself in a relationship, and how do they see themselves? You see yourself as working very hard this year in the relationship. 8 of Pentacles. It's all down to you to keep the money going. You're having to be really, really strong and restricted in your ways. It's so interesting because there are similarities to the Virgo reading. But they see themselves as a Knight of Wands, and so they feel very much like they're the hero, they're saving the day. I really wouldn't be surprised, Capricorn, if this is a reading for a feminine Capricorn who's dealing with a very masculine energy individual. I don't like to say gender because I think tarot is much more about feminine, and masculine aspects, which we all have within ourselves. So this is not gender specific, and this is not sexual orientation specific. So this could be any kind of relationship. But I want to say that, you know, the person that you're dealing with is the one who's resonating with a lot of sort of masculine, sort of coming in to save the day. They think they're the sort of knight in shining armor energy. They're really very much looking forward to sort of their path, right? But busy, you're working away, and this is what you see for yourself in this relationship. And I think a part of this is your responsibility and duty to maintain this, probably maybe to help and make sure that the kids are being raised properly, to make sure that the finances are there. Somebody who resonates with this kind of toxic energy generally will have difficulty with money and employment anyway because they're dysfunctional. Unless you're talking about a high-functioning person who's like that, then you're probably dealing with a sociopath, a high-functioning sociopath. You know? But usually people who are 8 of Swords they're not the great, they don't succeed at a lot of things in life. I'm going to be honest with you. There's certain things that you can tell about people when you see a pattern of failure or a pattern of, yeah, I tried, but that didn't work out, or you know, just a gaping lack of any sort of real success, but yet they have this very toxic energy. They have this idea that they're like the shit all the time, you know. When you see this in somebody, you've got to be able to form opinion. This idea that you're not allowed to form an opinion about anybody unless you know them. Okay, well, good luck. Get to know every single toxic person out there and let them destroy you because you don't know how to size somebody up. At the end of the day, you got to figure out how to size people up. There has to be some kind of filter. And you can tell that by their behavior. Absolutely. And this is somebody who resonates with, look at this, a lot of sort of, you know, a lot of sort of enthusiasm and passion for their vision, but yet they also have a lot of issues. They're bringing with them a lot of toxicity, certainly. Let's see what the clarifiers are. Yeah, definitely. And spirit could very well be collaboration in the sense that you guys may work together well in terms of the family. You may work together well with making money. There may be some aspect about this connection where you guys actually work very well. But there's another aspect. I'm not saying that this person is necessarily being like so violent or abusive that it's like, you know, such a hellhole. But what I am saying is that there is a toxicity to them that's making it impossible or making it feel like they are impossible to deal with. Certainly if you're having a tower moment. Right? And you're resonating with death energy. There's no love here. There's no cups here. So this is a very sort of mental sort of, here's your first cups. Two of Cups, Princess of Discs, Two of Discs, and Three of Swords. Well, I almost saw that coming. Six of Cups at the bottom of the Thoth deck. So Six of Cups talks about a desire to have pleasurable relationships with someone. Happy relationships, a happy life. Six of Cups, building memories. I think for some of you, yes, you do want to have that. Because you indeed have children. This is definitely, children is on the deck, So some of you are dealing with children. Of course you want to have happy and loving relationships, but something about this person has got to give, has got to change. Now, here we go. Two of Cups and Princess of Discs. Yes, you desire love. You desire a balanced connection in love. Right? And with this Tower moment and this death coming in, it's so interesting because it's like you realize, Princess of Discs, you're ready to start all over again. You're ready to start from scratch. You don't mind if you have to, because what you really, really want and what really comes in is love. It could be. Some of you, death comes in because this year there's another lover that comes towards you that's much more of what you want. And that could be another reason why you're retreating, because some of you Capricorns may have your eye on a different connection from this one. And you realize it requires starting all over, but you're going to have to plan it. And this could be your Tower moment as well. Your Tower moment could have definitely involved meeting someone else, because this happy union here, Two of Cups, is not representative of this here. This has got to be another connection that comes into your life, and it could very well be that that other connection, though you're married with kids, is what's giving you this Tower moment, because you're saying, shit, I can't stand who I'm with. This connection, this dynamic has been awful. Of course, that opens the way for somebody new already. And here comes somebody that I really want to be with, that's balanced, that has the, you know, someone I want to share memories, a soulmate connection coming in, someone, Six of Cups, that I have pleasure with. And so you absolutely double down. Princess of Discs is the same as Page of Discs, and you make a decision to move forward. Collaboration could indeed involve this new individual who's helping you to get out of this, because money is involved, right? So there's a feeling of having to start from the ground or having to start new, and you're willing to do it, but you are preparing. If this involves, this may indeed, of course, if children are involved, it's going to involve divorce, you know, custody, etc., etc. So part of you is keeping kind of stumm this year and just working towards getting your money up, so that when you're ready to let your other person know that you're leaving or that it's over, you have what you need to move forward. So you're being very strategic financially. You're working very hard to your end goal because you know what you want. Now, your person is resonating with these two clarifiers. They also have a Two of Pentacles, though, and a Three of Discs. So Two of Pentacles talks about big change and upheaval financially. So while you are having these huge changes with love, which definitely, it seems to me, a new love interest coming into your life this year that almost sweeps you off your feet and makes you realize how much you don't want to be where you're at now with your partner. Your partner is having huge sweeping changes with regard to finances and to money. And they are having a Three of Swords moment, a sorrowful moment. So there's absolutely, I believe, there's your Three of Swords, in the sense that they're going to find out later on this year that you no longer love them, that you are probably moving on with this other connection. And it will indeed hurt them, I think, with this Three of Swords. There will be a feeling of that, but at the end of the day, it's quite interesting. They could already be cheating on you too, but it's interesting that they see you as moon energy. They're going to know something is up. This moon is, you know, remember I said earlier, they're feeling something has changed. And I think Capricorn, it's going to be this new love interest that has come into your life here. It's going to absolutely, they're going to feel it with this moon. They're going to feel it. They're going to say, uh-oh, Capricorn's not right. And they are going to be hurt. It could very well be that towards the end of the year, this Knight of Wands is kind of like comes in, that in a sense that they say to you, look, remember earlier I said this could be them sort of looking forward to their own objective in their life. It could also be now we have the clarifiers, and I see that they are going to be hurt by this. There's going to be a feeling of sort of betrayal. It could very well be that all of this kind of gets them up out of some of this bullshit, and they may indeed, this Knight of Wands may indeed indicate that they're making a concerted effort to change, right? That they realize that they're losing you. They're hurt beyond belief about it. They have all of these, you know, economic changes, financial and business career changes that happened earlier in the year that may be affecting some of this. And they're willing, it could be that after the result of all of this that they say, well, hang on a second, maybe I need to get my shit together. Because Knight of Wands is also the knight who's willing to go out and do what he needs to do to become a better person and ultimately rise up to a King of Wands, a level of King of Wands. But that involves going out and really getting the job done and getting the right thing done to bring in what you really believe in or what you really feel passionately about. And if your person feels strongly enough about you, certainly if you have kids in such a long history and they realize that all of that they've caused, this Knight of Wands may indicate that they're willing to go out and do a whole lot to try to get you back. But you know, what comes after is yet to be seen. All right, Capricorn, this is your reading, 2020 outlook. I hope it resonated. This is your love outlook. If it did, please like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to check out the other videos for you that are linked in the description. Don't forget to let me know if you're interested to be in a running for the Colette Baron Reed Spirit Animal Oracle deck, which we used here, which is a beautiful, beautiful deck. You just have to be subscribed and leave me a comment. And if you want to get a private reading, you can follow that link. Or if you want to get a 10-minute recorded answers reading, you can follow that link as well. Make sure you do ask me a question when you're requesting the Tarot Answers link. I cannot begin your video until you send me the question and background information. It is not a general outlook. For that, you need to book a private reading. All right, guys? But for right now, I'm just going to say have a wonderful second week in December. Thank you for checking out this 2020 Love Outlook, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye, Capricorn.